Some Excel experts believe that the ability to use array formulas is a good indicator of whether someone is an advanced Excel user or not, which is why they commonly appear during Excel job interview tests, for senior analysts and other high-ranking positions. Array formulas is believed to be the most difficult subject in Excel. Example 1. The transpose function. Transpose is probably the simplest example of an array function. In this example, the vertical set of sales data will be transposed into a horizontal table. First, select the range of cells F3 to H3, which is where the result table will be put. Remember to always start entering array functions and formulas by pressing the F2 key on the keyboard. Then type an equals sign and the beginning of the function. All you need are the first two letters, TR, and the suggested function transpose will appear. Double-click to select it. Select the area of the table to be transposed. There's no need to add brackets, simply press Ctrl-Shift-Enter at the end. After entering the array function and formulas, always finish with Ctrl-Shift-Enter. As a result of this, there's now an array function in cells F3 to H3, written in the type of brackets characteristic for array formulas. Even though the function looks like it has been put in 3 cells, it is one function, and any changes made in any cell will affect all of them. To make changes, we also need to start by pressing F2 and finish by pressing Ctrl-Shift-Enter. With array functions and formulas, it's not possible to change single parts of them. In our example, it wouldn't be possible to add a column between F and G. It's also not possible to make any changes if we do not start by pressing F2 and finish with Ctrl-Shift-Enter. If you do attempt any of these actions, this message will be displayed. To delete array functions or formulas, select the entire range and press the delete key. Example 2. Sum and if functions used in an array formula. Most normal Excel functions can be used in array formulas. In this example, we'll total the spending for category 3 in the UK and the US. The sum function and the if function can be used to create an equivalent of the sum if function, but we'll also be able to add up the data from multiple columns, which a sum if function isn't able to do. In this example, add up the results of the if function that take the value 0 if the category is anything other than category 3, or the value of expenditure if it is in category 3. In other words, the if function will run 22 times, because there are 22 cells in the range D4 to E14. It will return the expense values for category 3 or 0. All of these values will then be added up by the sum function. It's important to understand that whenever you join one cell to a range, in our case B4 to B14 equals H4, the function will run as many times as there are combinations of cells. Example 3. In example 2, we combine the if function with the sum function. In the same way, we can combine the if function with many other functions. I'll now show you how to create an array formula that looks for the minimum number in category 1. Thanks to appropriate addressing, this function can be copied into the following cells, and the minimum for each category can be found. After writing the function once, you don't need to make a new one for the average and the maximum. It's faster to copy it and use the replace command, Ctrl-H, changing min to average and max respectively. In the second table, I've added up the revenue that cost more than 500. Like before, the condition is in a different column, costs, to the totaled column, revenue, but the condition can also be in the same column. The next formula only adds up the revenue of the products that exceeds 600. In this example, the amount of revenue is not in the formula, but in another cell, and its address is in the formula. Finally, in the last example, the condition is the result of comparing the two tables. The revenues are only added up for the products with revenue that exceeds the costs. As you can see, there are many possibilities. If we compare the table with a single number or address, each element of the array will be compared with it. It's possible to compare two tables, but only when they have the same number of elements. In these kinds of comparisons, the first element of the table is compared with the first element of the second table. The second element is compared with the second element, and so on. Like before, after preparing sum array functions, average array functions, minimums and maximums, copy and change the sum function. Example 4. In this example, I'll present an array function that calculates a weighted average margin for the records that meet the condition. The array function consists of two elements. The first one is for the records that meet the condition. The percentage margin is multiplied by the sales, obtaining a margin value for the records meeting the condition. If the segment in column C is equal to the segment in cell M5, then multiply the direct profit percentage from column D by the sales from column H. The second element is a combination of the sum, and I have already shown this to you in the previous examples. If a segment in column C is equal to a segment in cell M5, then the sales from column H will be added together. Lastly, divide the margin amount. Example 5. A sum ignoring errors. If we want to add up the data where an error may occur, there are many if-error functions that can be used. In this example, I'll use 7 of them. The same result can be achieved using just one array formula. The function adds each element of the range if there isn't an error. Example 6. Using an entered table. An entered table can be used in both normal and array functions or formulas. In formulas, text or numerical values are often input. But what if we need to introduce not only one, but several elements in the same place? In some cases, Excel functions may be able to help, like OR for example, but other times the use of an entered table is the best if not the only way to solve the problem. In this example, the names are sometimes preceded by Mr., Mrs. or Ms. The goal is to compare the first three characters of the data in column B with an entered table containing Mr., Mrs. and Ms. The full stop after Mrs. won't be counted since only the first three characters will be compared. Use an OR function because the first three characters can be equal to the first, second or third element of the table. As you can see, this isn't an array formula, but a regular one that uses an entered table. In the next example of an entered table, we need to multiply and add up two sets of numbers, 3 even and 3 odd numbers. We can use an array function to do this, or an entered table. The input table must be vertical, since in matrices we multiply the horizontal table by the vertical one. Example 7. Small and large functions. The small and large functions find the smallest or largest elements, or the second smallest or second largest elements, etc. If we combine the sum and large functions and use it in the entered table with the values 1, 2 and 3, we'll get a sum of the top 3 as the result. In the same way, combining the sum and small functions in the entered table with the values 1, 2 and 3, we'll get the sum of the bottom 3 sellers. These aren't array functions and should not be entered using Ctrl-Shift-Enter. Please note, unfortunately, when using tables that have been input, you should take care because Excel doesn't always behave logically and consistently. Similarly, you should be careful when using the AND and OR functions in array functions because Excel is not always consistent. Example 8. How many unique values? A function that calculates the number of unique values is one that is definitely missing from Excel. But it's possible to make it using VBA, but a table function would be simpler. Let's start with a few simple formulas. The COUNTIF function counts how many times each of the elements appears on the list. If we divide 1 by the number of occurrences of a given element, the sum of these fractions for all lines for each element will always equal 1. For example, Amelia occurs 3 times. 1/3 add 1/3 add 1/3 equals 1. Finally, we can add up the data. Now we'll do all of these calculations in one cell using the array function. This formula counts the number of occurrences, each time dividing 1 by the number of occurrences and adding up all the results. This calculation method won't work correctly if there is an empty cell in the range. Regardless of the number of occurrences of empty cells in the range, the COUNTIF function always counts empty cells as a 0. To deal with this problem, you just need to add an if function that won't include empty cells in the division, simply leaving it as a 0 value. An empty cell is not a unique value in the range. The number of unique items on the list is still 4. Example 9. The nearest value. Many companies prepare different types of forecasts or use forecasts prepared by experts. Sometimes the estimation department counts as many as several dozen people. With expenditures like this, it's worthwhile to determine whose forecast was the closest to the actual results. In this example, the experts' forecasts have been collected. All of them estimated the future value of the same stock. We now know how much it eventually costs, so we can calculate who was the closest to reality. We'll start with the calculations in the table. In column E, subtract the real stock value from the forecast. In order for all the values to be positive and comparable, place the result of this calculation in an ABS function. This function changes negative values into positive values, and keeps positive values as they are. In other words, it measures the value's distance from 0. Next, determine which result was the smallest by using a min function in cell F5. In cell G5, using a match function, determine which expert obtained this result. Finally, in cell H5, find his name using an index function. Now we'll repeat this operation using an array function. This function can be achieved by nesting and modifying previously used formulas. Example 10. Data appears X number of times. If we want to check whether some data is in the table, we can use the if and sum functions. Thanks to the feature explained in one of the previous examples, we don't just know whether it exists, but also how many times it occurs. These formulas are also immune to empty cells. However, if we need the information occurs or does not occur, adding another if function on top of this function will suffice. And if we need the information does not occur or occurs 3 times, for example, we need to continue to develop our formula. Let's start with the counting formula we already know, and the second one, which will add once or times. In the final step, we will combine these functions and add the does not occur feature. The first part of it only introduces the words occurs or does not occur, then adds some spaces. If nothing occurs, do not add any more. And when it occurs, we calculate the number of repetitions, then attach a space and the word once or times to it. While showing you the final version of this formula, I would like to present a tool, Evaluate Formula, which helps to understand complex formulas, even some that were written by ourselves a long time ago. This tool can be found under the Formulas tab. Before using it, activate cell H3. Click on the Evaluate button and observe the changes taking place in the formula. The part of it that will be converted is underlined. After clicking on the Evaluate button once, cell B3 is replaced with its value and the next part of the formula is underlined. Now this value will be compared with all the cells in the range from B5 to H23. The result of these comparisons is 133 true or false values. There are 133 cells in the range B5 to H23. In the next step, true and false values will be replaced with a 1 and a 0. The sum function is underlined, which means they will be added up in the next step. So finally we have the condition of the if function. The result of the first if function is occurs, and now we have to start evaluating the second one. Once we know the result of an if function, the part of it that isn't being used will be replaced with #NA. Array functions have a lot of possibilities, and in this video you have just seen a brief introduction to them. I hope you get a lot of satisfaction from creating your own. This has been the last teaching lesson of the Advanced Excel course. If you've seen all of the lessons, check your abilities by doing some authentic Excel job interview tests which are presented in Lesson 20.